Oprah Winfrey was born in rural Mississippi in 1954 to a teenage single mother. She wore dresses made from potato sacks because her family couldn't afford clothes. She was sexually abused starting at age 9 by her cousin, uncle, and a family friend. At 14, she became pregnant. The baby died shortly after birth. She ran away from home. She was sent to a juvenile detention center, but there was no room. So she was sent back. Statistically, every data point said Oprah Winfrey should have failed. Children who experience that level of trauma rarely escape it. The cycle of poverty, abuse, and dysfunction typically continues. Today, Oprah Winfrey is worth $2.5 billion. She's the first black female billionaire in American history. She built a media empire that includes the highest-rated talk show in history, OWN Network, Harpo Productions, and investments across media and technology. She's influenced presidential elections, created careers for hundreds of people, and changed the lives of millions through her platform. But here's what's fascinating. Oprah didn't hide her trauma. She didn't pretend to be perfect. She didn't create a polished, filtered version of herself. She did the exact opposite. In 1986, on national television, she told the world she'd lost 67 pounds. Then she rolled a wagon of fat onto the stage to show exactly what 67 pounds looks like. Experts told her, "Don't do this, it's too vulnerable. People will judge you. It'll hurt your credibility." She did it anyway. That episode became one of the most watched in talk show history. Because vulnerability, real, raw, honest vulnerability, creates connection that perfection never can. Today, we're reverse engineering the 3 psychological principles that transform trauma into trust, vulnerability into influence, and authenticity into a $2.5 billion empire. Before we dive deeper, let me be clear. This isn't about media strategy or building a talk show. What we're examining is far more valuable. The psychological framework that allowed Oprah to create influence at scale through radical authenticity. Because here's the truth. We live in an era of filtered perfection. Social media shows highlight reels. Personal brands are curated images. Everyone's pretending to have it all together. But humans don't connect with perfection. We connect with authenticity. And Oprah mastered this long before authenticity became a buzzword. Today, we're breaking down 3 core principles that Oprah has used for over 40 years. Number 1, radical authenticity. Why sharing your struggles creates deeper connection than hiding them. And how vulnerability becomes a competitive advantage. Number 2, emotional intelligence mastery. How understanding human psychology allowed Oprah to connect with anyone, from presidents to struggling single mothers. And number 3, purpose-driven platform. Why serving others instead of chasing fame creates sustainable success and lasting influence. By the end of this video, you'll have a framework for building genuine influence. whether you have 1 million followers or 10. One quick note, I've created a one-page influence framework based on Oprah's principles. Link is in the description. Grab it now. Now let's start with the principle that defines everything Oprah built. Radical authenticity. In the 1980s, talk shows followed a formula. Hosts were polished, professional. They asked questions but rarely shared personal stories. The boundary between host and guest was clear. Then Oprah Winfrey came along and broke every rule. She didn't just ask guests about their struggles. She shared her own. Drug abuse. Oprah talked about her experiences with substance abuse. Sexual abuse. She shared her trauma on air. Weight struggles? She made it a recurring topic, complete with rolling that wagon of fat onto the stage. Media experts were horrified. You're a host, not a guest. You're supposed to be the professional. This will destroy your credibility. But Oprah understood something profound. Authenticity creates permission. When she shared her weight struggles, millions of viewers thought, if Oprah, who's successful and famous, struggles with this too, then it's okay for me to struggle. When she talked about sexual abuse, survivors who'd been silent for decades felt safe enough to share their stories. This is what psychologists call vulnerability reciprocity. Brené Brown, the researcher who made vulnerability famous, spent decades studying this phenomenon. Her finding: vulnerability begets vulnerability. When someone shares authentically, it gives others permission to do the same. Oprah didn't just interview people. She created a space where people felt safe to be honest. Because she was honest first. This is radical authenticity. Not just being yourself, but actively sharing the parts of yourself that others hide. Most people think, if I show my struggles, people will respect me less. Oprah proved the opposite. When I show my struggles, people connect with me more. Let me give you a concrete example. In 1995, Oprah started Oprah's Book Club. The first book was The Deep End of the Ocean by Jacqueline Mitchard, a novel about a mother whose child goes missing. When Oprah discussed the book, she didn't give a literary analysis. She talked about how the story made her feel. She cried on camera. She shared personal memories. Critics said, "That's not how you discuss literature. Too emotional, too personal." The book sold 4 million copies. Because Oprah wasn't creating a book review show. She was creating connection. She was showing viewers, It's okay to feel deeply about stories. It's okay to cry. It's okay to connect emotionally. Every book she selected after that became an instant bestseller. Publishers called it the Oprah effect. Her book club could move millions of units. But it wasn't magic. It was radical authenticity creating trust at scale. When people trust you, when they feel you're genuinely sharing yourself, not performing a role, they listen to your recommendations. They buy your products. They follow your advice. This is why influencers with millions of followers often have less influence than individuals with smaller but deeply connected audiences. Radical authenticity creates real influence. Perfection creates distance. So here's the question. What are you hiding that, if shared, would create deeper connection? Most people hide their failures, insecurities, struggles, doubts, and vulnerabilities. They think hiding these things makes them stronger. It actually makes them less relatable. Oprah built a $2.5 billion empire by sharing exactly what others hide. But radical authenticity alone isn't enough. You also need to understand how people actually think and feel. Which brings us to her second principle, emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman, who popularized the concept of emotional intelligence, identified 5 key components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivación, empathy, and social skills. Oprah Winfrey is a master of all 5. But her superpower is empathy. Watch any Oprah interview. She doesn't just ask questions. She feels with the person. When Tom Cruise jumped on her couch in 2005, declaring his love for Katie Holmes, most hosts would have shut it down as unprofessional. Oprah leaned in. She smiled. She celebrated his joy with him. Critics called it undignified. The clip became one of the most watched moments in talk show history. Because Oprah understood. Tom wasn't being professional in that moment. He was being human. And humans connect with emotion, not professionalism. Her ability to read people, to understand what they're really feeling beneath what they're saying, allowed her to ask questions others couldn't. Example, in 2018, Oprah interviewed survivors of sexual abuse by USA Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar. A less emotionally intelligent interviewer would have focused on the details of the abuse. Oprah focused on the emotions. What did you need in that moment that you didn't get? How did it feel to not be believed? Those questions allowed survivors to express their pain in a way that healed them and educated millions of viewers. This is emotional intelligence in action. Understanding that people need to feel heard more than they need to tell their story. Oprah once said, "I've talked to murderers. I've talked to world leaders. I've talked to survivors. And everybody, regardless of who they are, wants to know, did you hear me? Did you see me? Did what I say matter?" That's the universal human need. To be seen. To be heard. To matter. Most people try to influence others by talking. Oprah built her influence by listening. But emotional intelligence isn't just about making people feel good. It's about understanding what people need. Which brings us to Oprah's third principle, purpose-driven platform. In 2011, after 25 years, Oprah ended her talk show. It was the highest-rated talk show in television history. She was making hundreds of millions per year. Networks offered her massive contracts to continue. She said no. Why? Because she wanted to build something bigger than a show. She wanted to build OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. Critics said she was insane. You're walking away from guaranteed success to start a cable network? In the age of cable decline, OWN struggled at first. Heavy losses. Low ratings. Media declared it a failure. But Oprah wasn't optimizing for short-term profit. She was building for purpose. She once explained, "I knew I couldn't just keep doing a talk show forever. I needed to create a platform that would outlive me. A platform that serves people even when I'm not here." This is purpose-driven thinking. Not what makes me the most money, but what serves the most people. Today, OWN is profitable and successful. But more importantly, it's creating content that aligns with Oprah's mission, helping people live their best lives. This principle, purpose over profit, seems counterintuitive in business. But research proves it works. Companies with clear purpose outperform profit-focused companies over time. When you build to serve, wealth follows. Now let's make this practical. We've covered 3 powerful principles from one of the most influential people in media history. Now let's turn this into a system you can use today. The Oprah Influence Framework, 5 actions for this week. Action number 1, the authenticity audit. Take 30 minutes and honestly assess what you're hiding. Action number 2, the emotional echo exercise. Practice listening for emotion, reflecting it back, and validating. Action number 3, define your purpose statement. Complete this sentence. I exist to help people learn grow. Action number 4, the purpose filter. Before saying yes to any opportunity, ask, does this serve my purpose? Action number 5, the vulnerability journal. Every day, write down one authentic thing you shared, one emotion you felt, and one way you served someone else. If you implement these 5 practices. Week 1. People will respond differently. More openness, more trust. Year 1. You'll have built genuine influence. But it only works if you start now. Oprah Winfrey didn't wait to be successful to be authentic. She was authentic from day 1, and success followed. I've created a 1-page Oprah influence framework. Link in description. Grab it now. Let's bring this full circle. Oprah Winfrey was born in poverty in rural Mississippi. Sexually abused as a child. Pregnant at 14. Every statistic said she would fail. Today, she's worth $2.5 billion. The first black female billionaire in America. But the wealth isn't the point. The point is the framework. 3 principles that anyone can apply. Radical authenticity. Share your struggles. Emotional intelligence mastery. Make people feel heard. Purpose-driven platform. Serve others first. What you do with this information determines everything. You can watch this video, think interesting, and change nothing. Or you can pause right now and take action. This completes our series on billionaire mindset psychology. 4 billionaires, 12 principles proven over decades. What you build with it is up to you. Thank you for watching this series. See you in the next one.